Let's start out by actually saying that there were some technical difficulties with project creation on today, and so there are some issues with project creation. So we're going to try again next week. You cannot, I'm sorry, but you just can't control technology. Technology has a way of doing its own thing. I think probably most of my stress over this pandemic has been with technology, has been with something, with the issues with various systems, stuff messing up. And so please forgive us. I know we had some technical difficulties on Sunday school this morning on Zoom, so we don't know what's going on. It's going to work out. It's going to work in our favor. Amen. Amen. The devil is a lie. We're going to work this thing out. Amen. Amen. And so now, to the word pandemic. This pandemic has been interesting because on America's dirty laundry, it is America is oftentimes truly about the almighty dollar. America isn't about the people. America is not necessarily a democracy. Yes, we vote for those who are in leadership. We have a tendency to pick our leaders, but most of the time our leaders are controlled by corporate interests, by lobbying groups. And so really, this is a capitalistic state. This is a state where it is ran by money, not by the will of the people. This pandemic has shown us that America has a dirty little secret. America has a few dirty little secrets, and one of them pertains to race. How people of color find themselves at the bottom or at the top in this particular predicament of being those who are affected the most. The poor don't get what they need. They are losing out in this pandemic. If you are not in the kind of job that allows you to work from home, then you are really in a bad predicament. Now, yes, this government, this pandemic has shown us that there is something wrong in these here yet to be United States. On this Tuesday though, the 19th, Sister Salter, on this Tuesday, May 19th, we commemorate the birthday of El-Hajj Malik Shabazz, a.k.a. Malcolm X. If I could speak to Malcolm and Martin on this day, I'm pretty sure they would have a whole lot to say about what's going on in the African American community and these here United States. I'm sure that they would have issue with the way poor people are being treated. I'm sure they would have issue with the way black and brown people are being unjustly incarcerated. I'm pretty sure that they would have issue with the harassment that people that look like us are going under. I'm pretty sure they would have a lot to say. And as I thought about Malcolm X, as I thought about El-Hajj Malik Shabazz, I started to really ponder the events, Angel, of this past week, of these past 2 months. Just a month ago, Angel, I was saying to myself, well, at least one thing about the pandemic, black folk ain't getting harassed by the police or getting shot up. But I spoke a little too soon, Kwanda. I spoke a little too soon, because the reality is this system doesn't stop messing with people that look like us. And I realize that I'm just tired. I'm just tired. Yes. I'm just tired. Have you ever just been tired? You know, just tired of the BS. Tired of the bad stuff. Help me, somebody. Have you ever just been mad as Freddie at Lamont? Have you? Y'all know what I wanted to say, but don't you know? Don't you know? Every once in a while, you just get a little tired of what is going on. how black and brown people are being treated, how poor people are being forgotten, how the little man has been left out of this whole situation. I'm just tired. I'm really just tired, Reverend Harris. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired, as Fannie Lou Hamer said, of being sick and tired. I'm tired, which brings me to my scripture. I think Amos was tired. You know Amos. Or the herdsman, the dresser of sycamore trees, Amos, that brother who said in that 7th chapter of Amos, I'm not a prophet, I'm just a shepherd, I'm just one who dressed sycamore trees, but I see something wrong going on. Amos was a contemporary of Isaiah. Amos, if you look back at it, Amos is considered one of the oldest prophets. He's one of the first prophets. We don't know how long Amos' tenure was, but we know that his tenure was powerful. We know that he spoke truth to King Uzziah. He spoke truth to Jeroboam. He spoke truth. And in that text, he said he needs justice to roll down like water and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. Amos, in this book of Amos, you find that the nation of Israel is in a real good place, Devanya. They're in a good place because this is after the split, the northern and the southern kingdom, and there is no war around them. No, the Assyrians hadn't risen up, nor the Egyptians, nor the Babylonians. They're in times of peace. People are doing well. People have money in their pocket, and they're doing well. Not everybody is doing well. Just some folk are doing well. And Amos has an issue with those who have, how they have forgotten about those who have not. Yes, Amos has issue with the way the people are treating each other in this text. Amos, his name means burden. Oh, what a name to have. He realizes that he carries the burdens of the Almighty God that we serve. He realized that he has to speak up for the people. And as I thought about this text, as I thought about Malcolm X, as I brought those two together, I really thought about what we should be saying right now in these days. Really, if you are black in America, if you are brown in America, you should just be tired. You should just be sick and tired. So I want to tag this text, just tired. Justice by any means. Justice by any means. Justice by any means. Yes, you all that the second part of that title, by any means necessary. You remember Malcolm and with his gun and leaning on the thing that the people portrayed. But we understand that for justice to come our way, we need to seek it by any means. I need somebody to pray with me this morning. I had to ask myself in this text, why is God and Amos tired? Why is God and Amos tired? Well, I think in the text it tells us that there's mistreatment. If you start at the very beginning of the book of Amos, Amos starts with mistreatment. If you flip over to that 2nd chapter, I like what it says right around to the group that he's talking to, Israel. He says in that 2nd chapter, in that 6th verse, for 3 sins Israel, even for 4, I will not relent. This is God talking to the nation Israel. They sell their innocence for silver, and they're needy for a pair of sandals. Amos has issue with the way people are treating people. Amos is tired. He's tired, and he sees justice by any means. See, I think God and Amos are tired because of the mistreatment of the people. See, there are those who turn justice into bitterness and cast righteousness to the ground. In that 5th chapter, in that 7th verse, you know. The DA in Brunswick, Georgia, just turned a blind eye to justice, just assault justice. Now the attorney for these 2 lynchers, these 2 murderers, that the public don't rush to judgment. I wish they would have afforded the exact same privilege to this brother, to Brother Aubrey. Yes, you know, those who sit in power. They mistreat those who have no power. They mistreat those who at the bottom of the society, who don't have money to bag them, who don't have people in high places to look out for them. Mistreatment. God is upset. God is tired of mistreatment. But also, I think God is tired of misappropriation. Yeah. In that 5th chapter, in that 11th verse, that A part of the verse, you levy a straw tax on the poor and impose tax on their grain. Here it is, Amos. Amos has issue because those in power are overtaxing those who have nothing. Wait, let me help you. You think everybody pays the same amount of taxes. Well, don't you know that there are corporations that rake in billions and billions of dollars who don't pay any taxes? Don't you know, just being poor, there's this thing called a poor tax there? No, it don't come back on you. It's not something that you pay to the government, but you pay it every day. If you are poor, yes, you pay more for a car, you pay more for a mortgage, you pay more for food, you pay more for gas. Depending on your zip code, you're going to pay more simply because you don't have black and brown people. This misappropriation of the justice system. Black and brown people are incarcerated at higher rates than any other. We're 13% of the population. Yet we're over 40% of the prison population. Yes. This pipeline from to prison. They seek to put us away. You know, redlining. Many of you all. You found yourself facing redlining during your day. You tried to move into that nice neighborhood with that nice school, but they told you you couldn't move there, and then they devalued the neighborhood that you lived in. A redlining. They're gerrymandering and putting people in place or drawing lines so they could put people in power that works to their benefits. Misappropriation of power, a misappropriation of resources, a misappropriation. Then I think God is mad at mistreatment, misappropriation, but God is also mad at misuse. In that 12th verse of that 5th chapter, that B part of the verse, there are those who oppress the innocent and take bribes and deprive the poor of justice in court. Here it is, Isaiah, Amos is talking to the people, Even Isaiah says something similar to this. And Amos is talking to the people because those in power who you think are on your side are taking bribes. Or looking out for their friends, or trying to make things disappear for their friends, or quote unquote recusing themselves but calling up folk that's going to help their friends out. Yes, a misuse of power. There are those who sit in the Senate, who sit in the Senate, who sit in the White House, who sit in that are misusing the powers that they have been given. Here it is, Mitch McConnell. This is dead bent on putting as many judges in place, putting people in power for his benefit and the benefit of people like him before the next election. Wait. If serves me correctly, Randy. When President Obama was trying to put some judges in place, he said, we're going to let the people decide. But now, the tables are turned, and he doesn't see a way out. He sees that some are going to. God is tired of misuse, misappropriation, and God is tired of mistreatment. But I had to say, what are we tired of? Well, I can tell you what I'm tired of. Well, simply, man, I'm tired of injustice. I'm tired of injustice in the penal system. I'm tired of seeing black and brown bodies being taken advantage of young black men going to jail and not having court for years and years and years after. But now, when a white man goes, that there are people that rush to make sure they get their day in court. White men who have essentially committed treason are now back at home. I'm tired of the injustice, criminal system, school system, and graduation rates, and how young black boys, our schools, how they are kept back so that they can be kept back in life. If they act a little rowdy, then they have issues. But if the little white kid acts a little rowdy, he's just being a kid. I'm tired of the injustice. I'm tired of the suspension rates of black boys and black girls, and how they're pushed out of the school system. I'm tired of the injustice that is all around us. I'm tired. I'm tired, church. I'm tired of the inequality. Yes, the inequality in the workplace. I know. Some of you all have retired, but think back a little while. You remember that. But then they bought somebody else in that didn't look like you, that wasn't the same color as you, and they asked you to train them, and then they became your supervisor. Yeah, the inequality at work, the inequality in the workplace. Don't you know that for every dollar that a white male earns, literally black men earn 20% less, black women almost 30% less? There is something wrong with our system. I'm just tired of the injustice. I'm tired of the inequality. I'm tired of the inconsistency, the isms, all of the isms that we face. Yeah, you know, the isms surround us, the sexism, the ageism, all of the isms that are around us, and how the isms are used on us, how the isms are used against us, and some of the time we even use the isms to hold each other back. I'm tired. I'm tired. But what does God require? I had to ask myself, what in this text, simply Amos lets us know what God requires. God, he lays it out for us. He lays out even what like Micah laid out. The two things that he's letting the people know that God requires. Justice. Wait, justice? No, wait, justice? What do you mean, Reverend Robinson? Wait. Follow all of the 10 Commandments and to do all this and that. Well, all of this is tied up. See, biblically speaking, the word justice, the definition would be divinely righteous acts that promote equality among humanity. God just wants us to act justly toward each other. What does the Lord require to do? Do justice, as Micah said in Micah 6. God just wants us to do justice, to treat each other right. God just wants us not to seek justice, but to be just in all that we do, to treat people fairly, to love one another and look out for one another. I know somebody's saying, but this Amos is in the Old Testament. Micah's in the Old Testament. But I like what Jesus says in Matthew 23 and 23. You give your tithes, but you neglect the more important matters of the law: justice, mercy, and faithfulness. Justice, Jesus says, and faithfulness. God requires us. God requires us to do justice. Secondly, Amos points out that God requires righteousness. Well, what is righteousness? Righteousness and justice sound alike. Well, righteousness is the state of doing or being right. It is in right relationship with God and others. So righteousness is when you're in right relationship with God and other people. Oh, wait, let me say, when you're trying to do right by everybody, when you're trying to do right by, when you're trying to love your neighbor as you love yourself, when you're trying to treat people as you would like to be treated, when you're just trying to do right by everybody, God wants us, God requires justice, and God requires righteousness. But I had to ask myself, well, what must we do? If God requires this, what must we do? And what I realized is, one, I think the only way we can do justice and righteousness is we got to stand. Wait, we got to get off of we got to stand for justice and righteousness. I like what Malcolm X says. He says, a man that stands for nothing will fall for anything. And the reality is, we have to stand. Here it is. Here it is. Amos, as stated, a herder, a herdsman, and a dresser of sick. Amos saw something going wrong in his community. He could have sat back and he could have just did what herders and dressers of sycamore fig trees do. He could have just did that and said, I have a comfortable life and nobody is messing with me. But Amos stood up for those who didn't have a voice. He decided to stand up. Too many of us, we want to stay seated. We're too lazy or too sit in our or the rest of this book flows. We're comfortable in our lives. Wait, everything is good about what everybody else is happening to everybody else. But we need to stand up for righteousness. What must we do? We need to stand. But also, I think we need to demand. We need to demand. I think one of the most famous speeches by Malcolm X was the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet. This is why, what he says, this is why I say it is the ballot or the bullet. It is liberty or it's death. It's freedom for everybody or freedom for nobody. We need, the problem is politicians take our vote for granted. See, politicians know they can ask for our vote and not give us anything. We don't demand anything from anybody. The problem is we sit by and we don't demand what is going on. We don't demand what is happening, what is going on around us. We need to stop sitting down, doing nothing. We need to stand up and demand what is due to us and let folk know we refuse to let you take advantage of your privilege. The thing is, the interesting thing about this whole pandemic is, here it is. The government and governors down ask people to shelter in place to protect the masses. But in some states, like Michigan, people go to the state house with their guns and demand that the government opens. Now, a black man can be a registered gun owner. If he walks into the state house with his gun, it's going down. But these folk are doing this because of their privilege, because of the white privilege. They feel like nobody can tell them what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. I was watching, my social media feed has been filled with all of these stories. Here it is, a brother, I think he was in Oklahoma, and he was trying to he delivered some furniture or something to a resident in a community, and this white man pulls in front of him, blocks him in, and demands, he tell where he delivered the stuff because he shouldn't be in that community. There's something wrong, but we don't demand enough from the system in which we live in. We need to stand up and demand that we're treated fairly. But also, finally, I think we got to command. We got to command. We got to command. I like what it says. It says nobody. I like what Malcolm says. He says nobody can give you freedom. Nobody can give you equality or justice. If you are a man or a woman, you take it. Wait. You don't sit up and wait for folk to give you nothing. We need to stand up. Stand up, demand, and command. I like doing the civil rights movement. You know, Sister Thatcher. You probably have read about the deacons of defense. You know, those who help protect Dr. King. We need to stand up. When we do our part, don't you know God is going to do God's part? God is always going to do God's part. And when we do our part, don't you know God is going to do God's part? See, because when we do our part, God realizes our effort. God realizes that we're trying to do our best. And so that was what's beautiful about the civil rights movement. God realized that we were seeking to do our part. When we do our part, God realizes our effort. When we do our part, God restores us to our God-given place. If we would just, God will restore us to our God-given place. And when we do our part, God will revive us. God will revive you to be used. God will revive you to be used. All we have to do is do our part and let God, and God realizes our effort, God restores us, and God revives us. I stopped by to tell somebody, I stopped by to let somebody know, I just want you to understand that justice needs to roll down, not but roll down. Justice should roll down, not drip down, but roll down. Justice needs to roll down. Justice needs to roll down for Bree. Justice needs to roll down for Ahmad. Justice needs to roll down for Freddie. Justice needs to roll down for Philando. Justice needs to roll down for Michael. Justice needs to roll down for Sandra. Justice needs to roll down for all of those black lives have been shortened, whose lives in prison for charges or trumped up charges. Justice needs to roll down, and we of making that happen. We need to stand up and be like the prophets of old and speak truth to power and let those in power know that we demand justice and we demand it by any means necessary. We need to let folk know that we're just tired and justice by any means necessary. We need to let folk know we're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we want justice by any means necessary. We need to let folk know that regardless of what you talk about, you need to do something about the situation. We want justice, and we're sick and tired of being treated unjustly. We've been here longer or just as long as anybody else, and so we deserve what is due to us. I know this ain't no sermon that you used to. I know you probably tuned in to hear, but I need you to know I'm just tired, Randy. I'm just tired. I'm tired, and I want justice by any means. I'm sick and tired of having social media feeds and hashtags that talk about black folk being mistreated, that talk about people that look like me being shot down in the street. I'm tired of folk looking at me some certain kind of way just because of the color of my skin. I want justice, and if you have a problem with this, you need to check yourself. And for my white brothers and sisters, those those who have an issue with this, you really need to check yourself. You need to get up and speak to somebody and demand justice, not just for you, but for all those in this nation, all of those who help make this nation great. We need to demand justice for all, not for some, not for a few, but for all, not for who's kissed by the sun, but for all. All people need justice, and that's why Jesus came. That's why Jesus went to the cross, because Jesus was a revolutionary, seeking and demanding justice for his people. Jesus stood up for his people. He demanded justice for his people, and he commanded that it be given. I stopped by to tell you this morning. I stopped by to remind you. I just want to let you know. I'm just tired. But justice by any means necessary. Amen, amen, and amen.